Guess who's back on his bullshit? Hope you're ready to learn about tokusatsu, motherfuckers, cause you're in the thick of it now. Ah, boy. Greetings and felicitations, assorted children of the internet. I am the Logician, and welcome to GigaBash. Now, I've made it no secret by now to those of you who've been watching me for quite some time that I am a massive enthusiast of tokusatsu. Which for the uninitiated is essentially shorthand for Japanese special effects filmmaking. Everything from Godzilla to Super Sentai to Kamen Rider to the subject of today's stream, Ultraman. Now, I hope you're ready to watch some asshole stand on a soapbox and rant for quite some time before getting to the actual content of the stream, because let's face it, that's what I do most times out of 10 anyway. Now, I am as excited as I am about this because there are two brand new DLC characters that have been added to the game. Ultraman Zero and Ultraman Belial. But to understand what their significance is, we have to go back in time just a smidge. Now, Ultraman, to those of you who are unaware, is a long-standing sci-fi series that started in 1966, following the initial experimental television series Ultra Q, which, I mean, basically think of it as Japanese Twilight Zone. It's about as simple as that, conceptually speaking. But then in 1966, they threw in a superhero aspect, where an alien giant from the Land of Light, no, I'm not making any of this up, arrives on Earth and finds, I suppose, safe passage within the body of a Earth self-defense soldier, granting him the ability to transform into a giant superhero for up to roughly 3 minutes at a time, though of course that's very much in anime time, let's be real, to fight giant monsters and aliens and all that good stuff. The following year, 1967, was when we would introduce Ultra 7. They were absolutely the epitome of creative naming, I know. Anyway, I bring this up because literally without Ultra 7, we would not have my other favorite IP, that being Pokemon. Because Ultra 7 was one of the main sources of inspiration for Pokemon, in that Ultra 7 not only fought monsters himself, but could call upon the aid of 3 capsule monsters that he essentially kept in his back pocket to help him whenever things were looking a bit too sticky. Fast forward quite some time from the Showa era of the series to the end of the Heisei era, basically from the 90s and early aughts. After Ultraman Mebius, which was technically the last in that particular era, before the new generation, it's a bit sticky. So you know what? I think it's time to break out a few graphs here. Let me just sort through my files, as it were. Okay, so basically everything you see here sort of spells out the general series of events. You have Ultraman onward, ending around Ultraman 80, I believe. That's the Showa era. Then you have Ultraman Tiga all the way through Ultraman Mebius. That's the Heisei era. And then you have, well, technically, like, it still goes a bit through, like, what we would know as the New Generation era, until around, I would say, Taiga, because that's technically when the Reiwa era started in Japan, and thus that's where they tend to start the Reiwa era in regards to, well, in regards to, I'm getting off topic. The point is, around the early aughts, specifically 2009 is when they made a movie that would rope in various elements from the Showa era and Heisei era, and essentially begin the New Generation Hero era. They would bring in elements of a spin-off series called Ultra Galaxy Daikaiju Battle, or Mega Monster Battle, which is essentially, what if we brought the whole Pokemon inspiration back full circle, and just had this one dude who could summon up to 3 monsters at a time with essentially what looked like a Digivice. A lot of these Japanese series concepts are very incestuous, so it does come around again and again and again. But suffice it to say, we got ourselves an interesting movie that introduced the two key subjects of tonight's stream. Ultraman Belial, over on the left there, who is essentially what if Ultraman had its own Judas, and Ultraman Zero, the son of Ultra 7, who once again was primarily the source of inspiration behind Pokemon. These two motherfuckers have been brought back again and again and again so many goddamn times that they've collectively, between the two of them, essentially become the proverbial Charizard of the Ultraman franchise. But goddammit, I can't help but love them. Now, it's worth noting, by the way, something that had to be pointed out to my dumbass because I was not raised a religious person. There are actually a fuck ton of Christian undertones within the ongoing visual storytelling of Ultraman. And it turns out Eiji Tsuburaya, the creator of the franchise, who was also the special effects director of the original Godzilla, was a born-again Christian. Or Catholic. I honestly have difficulty remembering the difference between the two most times. Suffice it to say, there's a reason there's a fuck ton of out-of-context clips of Ultraman getting crucified. But regardless, we're here to talk about Ultraman, not theology. At least this time around. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into the actual game proper, because I am fucking excited. Alright. And of course, starting strong with the visuals of some of the earliest Ultraman DLC characters. Now, let's see here. Unfortunately, they haven't added any new story campaigns to the game, just the two newest characters. But, again, they're fairly anticipated characters. Ah, yes, let's see here. So, yeah, let's go over some of the, She Ultraman till I beam. No, I mean, yeah. She's Specium mycosin. Until I chwatch. So, let's go over the roster, because it's been a hot minute. We have Goragong here, who is an original creation of the developers of this game. Though if you look long enough at his visual elements, you can tell that he's essentially a combination of two of the more popular monsters from Ultraman, Red King and Gomora. We have Pipijoras, who is absolutely a fucking reference to Ultraman's own Alien Baltan, who is, fun fact, a personal favorite of Guillermo del Toro, the director behind such classics as Shape of Water, Pacific Rim, Pan's Labyrinth, and he is an avid fan of the Ultra franchise. We have Thundertross, who's essentially a love letter to the likes of, what's it called? The fucking... It's stylized after Power Rangers, but it's primarily been animated adaptations, and there was an adaptation some time ago that was very popular on Tumblr, it became infamous for a lot of queer baiting. Voltron, yes, Voltron, that's what I was thinking of. This is essentially their love letter to Voltron, I would like to think. Even down to, like, the animated sprites for the pilot. We have Wooly here, who's a dual reference, not only to, you know, big, floofy anime characters like Totoro, but also to, you know, Yetis and whatnot. I mean, it's right there in the name. We have Skorak, who I believe is a reference to a giant snail monster from Ultra Q. And in fact, that monster was seen in the beginning of Shin Ultraman. We have Gigaman, who, once again, is a loving tribute to the original Ultraman, who they would later add in. I guess they worked out a deal with Tsuburaya Productions. We have Rohana, who I'm guessing is probably a bit of a reference to Biolante, a monster from the Godzilla franchise. Yes, the man, the myth, the legend, Gigaman, who actually ended up getting a bit of a fleshed out story campaign in this game, which I appreciate. We have Rawa, or Reiwa. I don't necessarily remember how that's pronounced, but this is a multifaceted reference, I feel. I mean, obviously, yes, he's a bit of a he's essentially this game's equivalent of Godzilla here, but given the specific stylings of, you know, his horn, his, like, shoulder spikes, everything, I feel like he is also just as much a reference to a famous/infamous monster who was supposed to be in a Godzilla movie but never came to be, called Bagon. Anyway. We have Ziva, or Zyva, again, do not know which pronunciation they are emphasizing here. Who if I had to hazard a guess, might be a reference to one of the original monsters they brought in for Godzilla Unleashed, which was Obsidious, a monster made completely of lava. We have Concrete. I mean, like, the name inspiration is obvious, but I love the idea of a kaiju who's based off of the old Japanese concept of any object that successfully manages to stay intact over the course of 100 years becomes some kind of oni. Or, not oni, some kind of demon. I keep forgetting the specific name. Yokai, thank you, Koshe. Yes, so it's essentially an office building yokai. We have Mechajuras, who, again, bit of a reference to one of the various, like, iterations of Mecha Godzilla. Like, basically anytime you see, like, a mecha insert monster name here, that's borrowing from Mecha Godzilla. I do appreciate that they brought in, like, I mean, I'm not surprised, rather, that they brought in one of the most popular iterations of Mecha Godzilla, which is, it technically has its own name, Kiryu. And its whole deal is, it was built around the skeleton of the original Godzilla that was killed in 1954. Part of me wishes they would also get, like, the original 1974-75 Mechagodzilla, but that might be asking a bit too much. We have Rojak, who is an obvious reference to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, who themselves came to be with essentially recycled footage from Zhu Ranger, one of the Super Sentai series. I've rambled on and on and on about the whole, like, Super Sentai Power Rangers thing, so I'm gonna move on. And in that same vein, Balzar here is absolutely a reference to Goldar, who was one of the more memorable villains from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We have Gaia Gigaman, who is essentially a powered-up version of Gigaman, probably borrowing a bit more aesthetically from, like, the Heisei and Reiwa era of Ultramen, aesthetically. I do wish they let him keep his chub, honestly. And then we have Zargara, who is a combination of our boy Balzar and another kaiju, who I think is... Actually, no, it's a combination of Balzar and Rawa, like, all rolled up into one. And the Heisei era of Ultraman had a fuck ton of monsters who were combinations of multiple monsters. So, yeah, no, that was honestly a good way to pay tribute. So, these are all the original creations that they came up with for the game. And then, of course, we have the DLC characters. My man, the myth, the legend, my favorite monster in the Godzilla universe outside of the man himself, Gigan. I mean, he is so cool yet so dumb at the same time. I absolutely fucking love him. the big old cyborg space chicken. We have what seems to be Japan's go-to version of Godzilla that they always bring out for these types of crossover things. We have the late Heisei era, what I like to call Tiger Face Godzilla. I always thought it was interesting, because, like, Babby Logician was always confused as to why this version of Godzilla had a bit of a kitty face thing going on. And it wouldn't be until years later that I'd realize, oh, because in, Asian mythology, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, what have you, dragons are often depicted with a more feline-esque face. So that's probably what they were going for here, on top of it, paying homage to the original 54 iteration. I already talked about Kiryu. We have Destroya. That's about as on-the-nose a name for a monster as you can get. This lad was from the very last film in the Heisei era. And for a bit of context, the original Godzilla could only be killed... Mild spoilers for a film from 1954, by the way. The original Godzilla could only be killed with a chemical weapon known as the Oxygen Destroyer. Destroya is essentially a monster that was made from the Oxygen Destroyer, when that chemical reaction combined with an ancient, smaller than the naked eye can see form of sea life. Hot Topic rewards card holder. You're not wrong. You're not even wrong, Koshe. We have the OG Ghidorah, King Ghidorah, put respect on the name. I'm gonna hazard a guess this is also the Heisei era version of Ghidorah. Basically, Godzilla's best known enemy. We have Hedorah, who is essentially imagine something that came from space, landed on Earth, and decided to make garbage its entire identity. Hedorah is me. Yeah, no, Hedorah is somewhat infamous for its very trippy 1960s outing in film. I personally love it. We have the original 1966 Ultraman, Alien Baltan, who was an enemy of his. We have Ultraman Tiga, who was the first of the Heisei era. And we have Kamiara, who is one of the enemies of Ultraman Tiga. We have both Ultraman and the baby monster Emmy, who were the main stars of the Netflix-based animated movie Ultraman Rising, which for a lot of people was their introduction to Ultraman. And I'm happy that more and more people are becoming aware of Ultraman through this movie. And, on the one hand, just the degree of lank with this boy is a little off-putting for me, but it makes sense considering the lad they chose to be in the original Ultraman suit. They chose specifically because of how lanky he was in real life, and they wanted someone who would absolutely pull off the whole lanky alien appearance with this lad. And then, of course, we have Ultraman Zero, the son of Ultra 7, one of the newest DLC characters. Essentially, he has become all but the Christ figure of the Ultraman IP. And of course, we need our Antichrist in Ultraman Belial. Basically, the lad was one of the OG Ultra Warriors, up there with Ultraman Ken, who would later go on to be known as Ultraman King. Decided, yeah, no, I'm not getting enough cred, I'm not getting enough power, I'm not getting enough respect, I'm gonna turn to the dark side. And that staff of his is actually, essentially, imagine a Pokeball that can fit 100 Pokemon. That's essentially what he's working with. The Ultra Battlenizer, I do believe it is called. These two were the main players in the 2009 film Daikaiju Battle Ultra Galaxy Legends movie. We have my man Gamera. This is specifically the iteration of Gamera from the Netflix animated series. And I gotta say, it took me a little bit, but this design for Gamera has absolutely grown on me. And then we have Guiron, who is probably one of the most heavily redesigned of Gamera's villains. Now, for big context, Gamera was essentially Daiei Studios' answer to Toho Studios' Godzilla. They saw the success of Godzilla, they wanted in on that, and so they created Gamera, who some of you may recognize less for his own merits and more for his repeat appearances on Mystery Science Theater 3000, as the Showa-era films are a delight. They are a laughable delight to watch. And when Gamera was brought back in the Heisei era for a trilogy of films, yeah, he decided there was enough fucking around. And the third of those, Gamera 3, Revenge of Iris, is what many would argue to be one of the greatest kaiju movies of all time. A man who will gladly curb stomp anyone over the age of 10. Yeah, you're not wrong, Koshei. Because one of Gamera's whole things is that he is a friend to all children. Like, basically, he'll gladly stomp entire cities full of grown adults to destroy, you know, I don't know, a monster like Gauss or another one like that. But the moment he sees a little kid in trouble, he is going to put his entire body in harm's way to protect that kid. Guardian of the Universe. Now, Guiron was originally from the Showa era of Gamera films. Basically a movie where they stole Gamera away to actually, no. It was that two little kids got kidnapped by aliens who wanted to eat their brains. And Gamera followed to save them. And they're essentially, they had a guard dog kaiju named Guiron. And so, when they brought Gamera back for the Netflix show, they heavily redesigned Guiron to look a lot more menacing. What a silly series it absolutely fucking is. I love it. Let's see here. So, again, I've been ranting and raving for nearly half an hour now. But the third Gamera 90s movie is no, it absolutely is. As I mentioned before, Alex, Gamera 3 Revenge of Iris has gained a lot of notoriety over the years for a reason. It's phenomenal use of practical effects, like a much more serious tone than most, you know, tokusatsu films of the time. God, I obviously can't show it on stream, unfortunately, but ages and ages ago, it was 2016 specifically. I went to Otakuthon 2016 in Montreal, Quebec, and there was an artist here who did a fucking phenomenal rendering of Burning Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Destroya, and Gamera from Gamera 3, Revenge of Iris, with the plasma fist. And it's one of my prized possessions to this day. It's a fucking phenomenal piece of art. Gosh. But yeah, no, it is kind of hilarious how tokusatsu as a genre has sort of defined my entire life and my taste in media. Because once again, without Ultraman, there would be no Pokemon, and Pokemon was essentially how I defined it was essentially the basis of my identity as a kid. And then getting older and learning more and more about, like, Godzilla, because I also absolutely adored Godzilla films as a kid. The very first one I ever watched was Godzilla vs. Megalon. It was on an old VHS tape that I got from my aunt. And so yeah, Pokemon, Godzilla, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, VR Troopers, Big Bad Beetleborgs, a lot of Americanized tokusatsu. And then later on I would turn more towards the original Japanese iterations with, you know, Kamen Rider. The first Kamen Rider series I actually watched all the way through was Kamen Rider O's, which is a bit on the sillier side, but it piqued my interest. And over the years I veered more towards Ultraman, and away from, like, Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. I'll still check out Kamen Rider every now and then. The current series, Kamen Rider Zets, is pretty interesting. Super Sentai has, unfortunately, after 50 years, finally been canceled in place of the Project Red that Toei Toei is currently experimenting with starting with the reboot of the Metal Hero franchise, and they're going to be doing a whole new IP after that. It's a lot. I know I keep talking and I keep not playing. I do apologize. Again, this is absolutely a source of... This is a subject I am very much passionate about, and I have to bring my nerd in full swing every time. But anyway, let's get started with Ultraman Zero. And since it has been a hot minute, let's go for easy, because my dumbass has not picked this up in a little bit. I remember watching Tiga recently with more knowledge of both Super Eye Productions and Japan's interesting history with religious cults in the late 80s. Yeah, no, it's a whole thing. Again, add to that, Eiji Tsuburaya's own, history with faith, and it's an interesting conceptual cocktail. But yeah, let's start with easy mode on Ultraman Zero. Alright. So again, I've... Lake Lavina in Siberia. I haven't touched this game in a while, so it might take me some time to get used to the controls again. Alright, so that's the jump. Alright, so basic attack. There we are. And special attack. IE's got his Mega Busters out there. So, there we are. Oh, God. And then there's the grab. And I think, much like Destroy All Monsters, there's like different attack combos you can do with the grab. I know I talked about this during my Destroy All Monsters Melee stream, but I am particularly excited about the remaster that's coming out. I mean, it's unfortunate that, I have the sneaking suspicion that the whole reason the remaster is coming out is because Toho probably caught wind of the fan-made production being made called Save the Earth Melee, which, for the uninitiated, Atari and Pipeworks once upon a time made a trilogy of Godzilla-based fighting games. There was Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee, Godzilla Save the Earth, and Godzilla Unleashed. And they were, at least the first two of them, were absolutely fucking beloved. Surprisingly enough, for as much as I talk, grammar is not my strong suit. Alright, here's my finisher. There we go. I mean, honestly, yeah, fairly loyal to the original finishers of Zero. Modern Ultra doohickey weapons. I mean, by and large, I agree. Although, here's the thing. There are some weird ones for, Reiwa era Ultras, but I will gladly accept any of them over another fucking combiner. I am so fucking happy the combiner era is over. It was so fucking... It was cute at first. With, Ultraman Ginga. But, it got real old real fast for me, personally speaking. There we are. I mean, I'll gladly take any of the power-ups from Omega, for example, over any kind of combiner ability. Like, I've got mixed feelings about, like, the current gimmicks we've seen with Tio, but I'm willing to give it a shot. We're only 2 episodes into the new series, so... That's just... I feel like every new Ultra deserves a chance to show what they're capable of. Ah... God, like, one of my favorite elements of the Ultra franchise, by the way, is that when it comes to, like, the toys that they make for the series, like, they always use the actual toys in the show. Like, the actors on set will use the toys that they use to sell to kids, rather than any sort of refurbished, like, professional-looking plots, or... props. Sorry, I was distracted by the absolute cake that Zero was putting on display here. And level 16. Nice. And then we have Pipi Juras, the man, the myth, the legend. But yeah, no. What I appreciate about that is, like, using the actual toys in the show can help the kids watching the show feel more connected when they actually get their own, like, toy to play with. And it's so funny to me that, like, American shows don't do that when it comes to, like, superhero TV shows or movies or what have you. They'll always have, like, more, like, professional, real-looking props and stuff. And, like, there's nothing wrong with that, you know? But, like, if you're making a show specifically for kids to enjoy and kids to connect to, then it only seems logical that you would, like, devote a good portion of the show's presentation to helping the kids feel more connected to what it is they're watching. Oh god. Oh boy. Oh god. There we go. Oh. Alright, there we go. See. There's rules about advertising toys in shows like that. That's a reason why SpongeBob had to use a bootleg merch in that one. God. I mean, that's an interesting aspect of Japanese culture. That, like, when you're advertising something, whether it's food or toys, it basically has to be exactly as advertised, like, because there's, like, major laws against false advertising in Japan. Which I think is honestly one of the better aspects of, like, what I will not so flatteringly, like, refer to as the uptight elements of Japanese culture. Whereas, like, no, you advertised it as looking like this, it has to look like this. But that's one of the more positive elements of that particular aspect of Japanese culture. Get back here, you little fucking... There we go. Oh boy, best promotion on Stream Boo. Feels like we can't go one stream without Stream Boo dropping in. Ah, yes. Where we just have a bunch of the fucking Yetis in the peanut gallery. And they're just going, yeah, 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 yeah. Now, something you'll probably pick up on, and in fact have probably already picked up on, I am not exactly what you would call a professional gamer TM. Like, a lot of my passion for, you know, the IPs in this game come from just, like, watching the movies and watching the shows. So, I'm playing this game not because I am necessarily all that good at it, but because I love everything it celebrates. I mean, case in point. Oh god. I do like, by the way, that, like, a lot of the playable characters in this game have, like, alternate designs for when they go giant. Like, that makes sense to their respective, you know, like, sources of inspiration. Like, for this Voltron-looking motherfucker, like, Voltron / Gurren Lagann, like, he just adds more robot parts to his repertoire. Oh god, oh god. And I love that they have like two separate power-ups for this that honestly feel like they're paying homage to not only the rage power-ups from Destroy All Monsters, Melee, and Save the Earth, but also for the final attacks, like the plus sizing in Unleashed. Like, I've said it before and I'll say it again, the developers of GigaBash absolutely adore, like, what it is they're celebrating. Oh god, oh god. Oh god, oh god, alright, yeah, you know, my dumbass didn't realize I could, power up. Get over here. Yeah, I am, in fact, a shameless button masher. I'm not afraid to admit it. As because of that, I am probably going to lose this fight. Oh god. No, you don't. There we go. Ah, man. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, no, this is probably going to be the end for me. I got cocky. Yep, there I go. Okay. Ah. God. There we go. And now if I actually pay the fuck attention, I might just stand a fucking... a semblance of a chance here. I mean, I suppose this is also sort of thematically appropriate, all things considered. Ultraman Zero was always one of the more cocky Ultras. Like, the motherfucker never even got his own dedicated show. He was always relegated to, like, movie appearances, or, like, guest appearances in other shows, or, like, getting his own movies. Like, he was always treated like the special privileged child who, like, he would drop in for a visit every now and then, like, because he had a famous parent, which technically he did, all things considered. There we go. Doing significantly better this time. Oh god. Oh god. Oh boy. Oh god. Oh Nelly. All right. There we go. It always amazes me every time the devs of this game do manage to get, like, a big name IP involved, like Ultraman, or, you know, Godzilla or Gamera, because, like, especially when you look at, like, who they haven't managed to get involved. Because, like, obviously they had to make their own characters to make up for not having access to, you know, Mighty Morphin. Because, like, the Mighty Morphin IP is in such a fucking hellish space right now. Because, I mean, number one, Super Sentai was canceled. But a contributing factor as to why Super Sentai was even canceled, in terms of them not really making ideal revenue, is because of just how fucked the handling of the Mighty Morphin IP in the States is. Like, even I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but suffice it to say, it was not handled well, and now, like, the future of the Power Rangers brand is, to put it kindly, nebulous. And even getting back to, like, that particular source of inspiration for me, like, and I know I've touched on this before, the whole reason my favorite color is green, and I have so many green-coded things associated with me, is because of Jason David Frank and his role as the Green Ranger in Mighty Morphin. Like, that is how much tokusatsu has influenced my life. And it is hilarious because despite all that, I am surprised I am not more of a weeb as like some other people I know. God, I do love this fucking color combination for Rhea. Oh, I'm just fucking spamming at this point. But I mean, it's working. I'm just juggling his ass. Oh god. Well, bye-bye. I just remembered a weird fucking fact about, like, Ultraman Zero. Like, in all the current English dub stuff with him, he's voiced by Sean Schimmel. Fucking Goku, of all people. And it's like, it's not the worst choice they could have gone with. But given, like, Ultraman Zero's whole attitude, I feel like a much better choice would have been, like, Johnny Young Bosch, or something like that. Which is actually kind of hilarious considering the human host for Ultraman Blazar, which is one of my favorite entries in the Reiwa era, is voiced by Johnny Young Bosch. And again, to bring it all the way fucking back around, Johnny Young Bosch played the very second Black Ranger in Mighty Morphin. Again, it is all very incestuous, and it comes right back around into itself again and again and again. Like, I don't know if it is, like, because I've got this on easy mode, or because it is just fucking Ultraman Zero specifically, but it feels like he is, like, really juggling a lot of the monsters I normally have more difficulty with. Of course, as soon as I fucking say it. Ah, my word. I've been having mixed feelings. Like, getting back to, like, the subject of tokusatsu in general, I've been having mixed feelings about, like, the current Project Red, that has gone on to replace, Super Sentai. Because, like, the thing is, like, I never watched the original, like, Space Sheriff Gavan, but I always liked the aesthetic of more, like, metallic or robot-y tokusatsu costumes. And so I'm loving, like, the overall tone of, Gavan Infinity. But it also dips into, like, whenever a show makes multiverse theory a crucial part of its plot, there's a part of me that winces, because I fear that's going to dip into the territory of things like you know, the MCU or Dragon Ball Super, where, like, does anything really have any consequence? Project Red mostly exists so Toei can have better international rights control over their shows. Honestly, no, that's valid as fuck. Because again, we saw what happened to Super Sentai because of how Power Rangers has been handled as an IP. Like, because of, like, all the loss in profits they've had because of that. Giga Man! Of course, like, the irony in me saying that is that, like, the whole principle of, like, what Ultraman has become now is that every time there's a new Ultra show, like, 9 times out of 10, it takes place in a whole new universe where people have not seen an Ultraman before. And, like, the last 2 Ultras haven't even been, like, from the Land of Light either, which is, I will say, has been an interesting new take on things. Like, I'm glad they're not just sticking to the formula. Like, they're trying to change things up a little more. And I did very much enjoy Ultraman Omega. Like, I'm a little slow in fully getting into Ultraman Tio, but I love the fucking monster designs. And I think it's interesting, like, the implications of how his power set works is unique. And again, a bit of a departure from how things have worked for Ultras in the past. It's almost like a new spin on the whole, like, color-based power thing that was established by Tiga. My dumbass was looking at chat and I forgot who I was playing on screen for a split second. God, I have fucking horrendous memory and attention span. I do like that the Giga Man theme they have for this kind of feels like a combination of, like, Showa and, like, Heisei Ultra themes. Nice! Nice, 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 nice. A lot of franchises never really cared about continuity until, like, recently. Yeah, no, that's fair. Because, like, to my understanding, like, all of the Showa era Ultras, like, all those stories took place on the same Earth, and then the only other one to take place on that Earth was Mebius. And then after that, it was, like, every new show is, you know, a different Earth. Oh, God. Okay, so the reason I'm kind of freaking out a little bit right now, I mean, obviously, yeah, Giga Man is juggling my ass right now, but also, like, God. Like, sorry, I heard something in the background. There was, like, a tone that was, like, repeating in the background that kind of sounded like the ambiance of Zeton, who is, like, one of the most powerful enemies of the original Ultraman. And honestly, I think it's probably only a matter of time before, like, I mean, I would like to think at least that it's only a matter of time until we get, like, Zeton in there. Like, how many Sentai seasons didn't address other Sentai unless it was a crossover episode, and even then it's not. Yeah, no, that's absolutely valid. Again, it's, honestly, I think the only Sentai series I watched all the way through, like, outside of, like, just Power Rangers when I was a kid, was the pirate one, the name of which has unfortunately escaped me. And even then, I think I may have only watched most of it. And unfortunately, that also dipped into the whole, like, combiner trope of, like, all their powers based on previous Rangers. But yeah, no, it's just like, I get why that there's still the occasional tokusatsu shows that, like, rely on the combiner thing of, like, oh, I have to call upon the power of a former Ranger or a former Rider or a former Ultra. Because, like, you know, they want to they want to bank a bit on that legacy money, but like it got really fucking old when every single tokusatsu series was doing it again and again and again and again and again, like in rapid succession. And I was like, oh my god, just give me fucking something new, please. Yeah, so no, I am very happy that like we seem to be over and done with when it comes to like combiner stuff for Ultraman at the very least. For the most part anyway. And I think that really started with Taiga. I mean, it was cute when like Ginga was doing it. And like at least it made a certain degree of sense with Jeed. But like after a while when every single Ultra is just pulling from other Ultras, like it gets fucking old. And then Taiga came around and they had the new spin of, okay, there's one host, but 3 Ultras. Like, had his ass on the fucking super-powered casting couch. And it was neat. And it still had a bit of the, like, Legacy Ultra thing, because Taiga is the son of Taro. And the grandson of Ultraman King. But, like, it wasn't, like, blatantly, like, you can only use powers from previous Ultras. Because that shit is what really I got sick of real fucking fast. Oh, yeah, here we go. I think initially I wasn't the biggest fan of Concrete. But once I understood what his whole deal was, I was like, oh, okay, no, that's actually pretty clever. I love this lad now. I've really come around to him. It is just so funny, like, conceptually. Alright. Because, like, one of the biggest, like, things that, like, tokusatsu movies are known for is, like, having monsters that destroy buildings. But when the buildings start destroying shit back, that's kind of terrifying. Oh god. There we go. There we go. Pa-pa-pa. It's like that one indie game, of course, you watch me play a Nat. Oh, that's right! God. When a house is hungry, every room is a mouth. God, yeah. That was a really good game. I mean, again, sometimes it'll come down to, like, what you define as a game. But it was a really good experience. Like, regardless of where you stand on that kind of thing. Oh, I think his ass is stuck. Oh, it was for a second. Get over here. Oh, yeah! See, again, I love that shit. Where, like, it is... You saw the fucking... The buildings gather up around his ass. Oh. Yeah, this is a little unfortunate. Because you can't see him through the roof. Ah... I keep forgetting what the taunt buttons are. So now it looks like Zero's just doing a pantomime rope pull. The cave wall is fucking pissed. Yeah, I love that they have like an actual like yellow skin for this dude so they can pay more homage to Red King. It is... I hate that like... I love Red King as a monster. He's so fucking doofy. I hate that the only time we've actually seen, like, a red variant of him was with fucking Ultraman Powered. And, like, because the suits look amazing in Ultraman Powered. Like, unfortunately, no one wanted to damage the suits, so the fight scenes are fucking dog shit. For a bit of context, there have only been two instances, well, I'm not sure of only two, but two main instances where an Ultra series has been made outside of Japan. One of them was Ultraman Powered, which was made in the United States, and the other was Ultraman Great, which was made in Australia. And they had, the man they brought on to, like, make the suits, like, for the monsters in, like, Ultraman Powered, did a fucking phenomenal job. And not only did they look like not only were, like, really cool designs that they, like, made for these suits, like the American-made suits, like, they had, like, ventilation systems and, like, fans and shit. Like, so, like, they were taking care of the people inside of the suits. So, like, it was really cool looking. Unfortunately, because the suits were so expensive, they didn't want to damage them, so the choreography for the fight scenes left something to be desired, to say the very least. And by that I mean they just would not allow them to damage them significantly in any way, so they couldn't really have convincing looking fight scenes. So it was, at most you would get a bit of a shove or like a bap on the shoulder. And because of that, the fight scenes greatly fucking suffered. Oh yeah, no, my ass is grass, I think. Oh, well, I mean, I'm surprised I'm not dead. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. Get over here. There we go. Alright. They also didn't know how to edit to make the action seem more impactful. Yeah, it really didn't. So yeah, no, it sucks. Cause like again, the suits themselves were great, but like they couldn't really embrace what makes those types of fights memorable, and that's like the action and the fight choreography and them just like letting loose. Alright, oh no. Remember what they say, kids. Watch out where those huskies go, don't you eat that yellow snow. Oh god. Right out the gate, huh? I forgot that the final battle for arcade mode is always, like, by default, a supersized boy. This might be where it ends for me. Because I think you can dash, but I can't for the life of me remember how. Yeah, no, here, this is absolutely where I end. Yeah, no, this is the end for old Zero. Yep. Ah, boy. So I have one life left. After this, I may go into training mode. See if the options let you look at the controls. I mean, it may very well. Alright, well, there you go. Dash attack, okay. Lock and dash. Okay, so right bumper. Listen. Listen. It has been a minute. God, alright, so. Block attack, block special, dash, alright. The thing is, like, dash doesn't seem to be working very well. Alright, let's see here. I mean, I'm doing some damage, but like his range is so fucking big. Like, there's almost nothing I can do here. God, no, that's right. The only way it can power up is by attacking him. That's right. There we go. Alright. Alright. Get over here. Get over here. Ah, God damn it. Yeah, no, I'm about to power down. Yeah, and there it goes. Alright. Alright, well, yeah. And boop, 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 boop. Oh, God. Yeah. There I go. All right. Ah, well. I mean, I could have done a lot worse. But, now let's see how Belial plays. Oh, that's actually kind of fitting. Looking Hot Topic colors for Giga Man there. And the thing is, that's not even all that uncommon for, like, Belial fucking around with shit. Because, like, there's an alternate skin for Zero where he has just Belial's colors. Alright, let's see. Alright, so the Giga Battlenizer. That's what his weapon is called, the Giga Battlenizer, so it's actually pretty funny. Even got the proper sound effects for the Giga Battlenizer. There. I love how creature-shaped this fucking idiot is. Oh no, abso-fucking-lutely. Because he is essentially the Ultraman equivalent of the Antichrist. And he has, like... His whole thing is that he can summon a legion of, like, 100 monsters, if he so chooses. Like, in fact, I am tempted to show you the movie that this fucker comes from. At some point, Koshe. Like, the fun thing about, like, the Ultra Galaxy Legends movie is that, like, it was also the very first movie to, like, have, like, live-action adaptations of some of the anime-exclusive Ultras. Like, and again, it was, like, sort of like the last major hurrah for Ultraman Mebius, and really the start of the new generation era for Ultraman, because after that, you know, we'd get a handful of, like, the Ultraman Zero and Belial movies, and then that would be the next main Ultraman series we would get after that was Ultraman Ginga, which was the first of the Combiner Ultras, as well as the oh damn, I could take him. Yes, we know, Koshe, in a fight, quote unquote. I love his big, doofy fucking yaoi hands. It's so fucking good. And I remember even, like, when Ultraman Ginga first came out, like, I loved the look of him because, like, it reminded me a lot of Gridman / Servo. And that was another tokusatsu series that, like, as a kid, I absolutely fucking adored. Yeah, no, I'm having definitely an easier time with Belial, which is honestly probably part of the point. My dumbass forgot I could hold and, like, load the special attack button for a beam. Well, no wonder my fucking ass lost to 0. But yes, no, his big grabbers. His big fishman creature hunch. No, absolutely. Like, I love that, like, more modern Ultraman suits, like, have put more work into, like, making the zipper cover for the suits more interesting looking. Like, instead of it just being, like, a nearly invisible fin or some shit, like, they've made it actually an aspect of the design, which I really appreciate. Can I just say that, like, one of the coolest things about, like, introducing my partner to tokusatsu and other things like that has been the fact that they're an incredibly talented artist, and every now and then they will, like, dabble around with, like, creature designs and character designs that take a great degree of inspiration from tokusatsu. Like, it makes me feel so fucking special whenever, like, they try and, like, experiment with that kind of thing after I show them new things. Because, again, they're immensely talented, and they have such a knack for creature design especially. Part of me really hopes that the final boss of this one is Zero, but it's probably asking too much since Belial wasn't the final one for Zero. I love this fucker because, again, he takes the piss out of the most serious-looking opponents. It's usually me figuring out how to make it horny, but that's how I appreciate things. I mean, that's completely fucking valid. Like, the monster fuckers really eat well when it comes to, like, the best tokusatsu designs. I forgot he had that Kirby ability, too. He's such a fucking troll. I love him. Oh, hell yeah. God, I really was fucking nerfing myself with the last playthrough, wasn't I? God damn. There he goes. Sometimes knowing how to play the game makes it easier. You would think. You would, in fact, think. I mean, this has unfortunately always been how I've played fighting games. Just sort of trying to brute force my way through basic understanding. Go. I was really depressed when I realized most of Street Fighter V was like online play against others, because it's like, bitch, I can't fight other people. No, I mean, no, I'm the same when it comes to like things like Smash and like, oh god, I forgot the volcano. Hamburger. But yeah, no, I think that's also a part of like why I have become so disillusioned with like modern gaming, quote unquote, because like there's so much more of an emphasis on like multiplayer, like an online multiplayer specifically. Like, first of all, like there's so many games out there that won't even function without an internet connection, and secondly, like it seems like there is far less care put into single player experiences these days. So I absolutely know what you're saying. No, Hineki. I love his fucking shell. It's so cool. I love this creature design. The fact that like it seems to be like a creature skull that still has a bit of life of its own. again, like, you can absolutely tell, like, from the artists to the writers to the programmers of this game, there is so much fucking love for tokusatsu that has been put into this fucking game. And they keep making new shit for it, even when it feels like there isn't much left to make. Like, between the tone of, like, the Giga Man campaign. Oh, it's so good. Like, again, as excited as I am for Destroy All Monsters Melee Remastered, like, I will probably still keep coming back to this game, because holy fucking shit, it is, like... I will put it on the list, Koshe. But, like, no, there's so much fucking... Like, you can tell that these are made by fans of tokusatsu. Like, they just love, like, the history and the goofiness and, like, the cool aspects of the genre. And they're always trying to, like, come up with more ways to celebrate it. Like, and the fact that they've managed to get, like, big-name IPs involved in it, like Godzilla and Ultraman and Gamera. Like, it's nothing short of a goddamn miracle, especially considering how protective a lot of those, like, companies are of their IPs between Tsuburaya and Toei. Or sorry, Toho and Daiei, rather. Nice! Oh, I timed that really well. I also love how much gayer Ultraman is getting over the years. But there's so many instances of, like there's no heterosexual explanation for these character dynamics. For example, the one that I always come back to is, like, sorry, I got distracted a little bit, is, Ultraman Geed and his relationship with his childhood friend, the alien. Like, that is absolutely a fucking mutual crush. There is no fucking other explanation. There we go. And now... I might stand a fucking fighting chance. Probably will still take a few attempts, but... Because unfortunately, I think the other element of this is that the boss heals with time. Which I feel is a bit busted. But, you know, it's part of the challenge. Please, 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 please. Oh, damn it. Well, no, he got it. Oh, here we go! The Giga Battlenizer. I'm probably not going to win, but... Can I spam it? Ah, damn it, no. Damn it. time. Yes! Okay. Whew. Alright. Believe in evil. I mean, it certainly says something about me when I struggled to get through easy mode. Ah, boy. Thought the wind pose was it. I mean, I was thinking the same thing, Alex, admittedly. Again, I do wish I could remember what the taunt buttons were. I think I'm going to... Oh, right, I can change the skins. Looks like they don't have too many options for Zero right now. Alright, what about Belial? No, it's mainly just lighting. That's a little unfortunate. Yeah, because even here we have, like, more varied options. It might be that this is just what they've got for, like, it's probably more of a case of, because these are very iconic designs, they might not be allowed to mess around with them much. Yeah, licensing thing. Yeah, here there's far more variation with like the original characters, so that absolutely tracks. But yeah, I think I'll try Zero again to see if I can't, you know, get a bit further. And again, might help if I actually take the time to look at the fucking controls. 2, 1, and stop. Alright, so let's see here. Block, transform, attack. Doesn't say anything about the taunts, because I know there are, like, taunt-specific controls. Let me even see if I can't look this up on my phone real quick. Let's see here. Of course, it's the fucking D-pad. I admittedly keep forgetting that I have a D-pad, because I almost never use it. Alright, so... Already I'm fucking eating shit. Yeah, I need to try and block more often. Alright. I was trying to see if there's a quick info online about the taunt button. Found out the dev teams all voted on which Ultraman characters to adapt. 2 of them wanted a character named Twin Tail, but they were outvoted. Twin Tail, why does this sound familiar? Oh, God. I really do love... I love the larger transformations of these lads. Oh, God. Well... Good thing I'm playing on fucking easy mode. Alright, so. There we go. Now we're getting the taunts. DMing you a pic of it. Alright, let me just quickly see if I can't get a look at that. Oh, this fucker! Oh yeah, no, this lad's from the Showa era. Yeah, no, sorry. Koshe just sent me a picture of, like, the monster who I couldn't quite remember from the name alone. So let me even just, while there is a lull in the action here. This fucking guy. Yeah, I've not seen him in a fucking minute. I mean, I can understand why he might have been outvoted a little bit, but, like, this is what I love about Tokusatsu, man. Like, they embrace the silliness, and they embrace the potential of having a guy in a suit for, you know, creature design. Like, again, I know everyone's heard it before, but one of my favorite fun facts about Pacific Rim, for example, is that, like, Guillermo del Toro's, like, basic guidelines for making monsters was essentially as such. One, no one should have any knowledge of, like, what Godzilla looks like, because he didn't want to just, like, have Godzilla be an unintentional source of inspiration. And two, the design must look like someone can fit inside of it as a suit. Because, again, Guillermo del Toro was also a massive fan of Ultraman. Now, the irony there is that not only was Eiji Tsuburaya, the creator of the Ultraman franchise, the special effects director behind the first Godzilla, but because he still had a good relationship with Toho Studios after he left, they would actually lend him some of their old broken down kaiju suits from their own movies for him to essentially edit and redesign as Ultra Monsters. Two of them being, like, very clearly edited Godzilla suits. One of them being the very first monster in Ultra Q. Or at least the monster used in the first episode, called Gomez. But yeah, no, I love how people can just have fun with creature designs, like, implementing, like, just the potential. Gomez and Jiris, yes. Apparently, there is a beam clash feature that came out with Ultraman DLC. Yeah, I heard about that, and the thing I love about that is that beam clashes were a major part of the Pipeworks Atari Godzilla games. Yeah, it's very hard to time, but when you get it right, it's fucking beautiful. God. I feel I feel like it is so perfect that you looked up that fun fact about the DLC, Koshe, because this is the most Koshe-coded Ultra Monster that I can think of. Like, it is so good. It is so fucking good. That is my partner. Lazy shrimp. Abso-fucking-lutely. Anyway. I like monsters that are clearly just like two suits coupled together. Those are fun too, like the starfish bat boy, whose name I can never remember. Oh god. Nice. Oh. There we go. The weird space starfish that's two people holding hands inside the suit. Yes, exactly. And then there's been the occasional, like, centaur kaiju that are, like, essentially two people wearing an AG Tsuburaya brand horse costume. One of the funniest and yet most horrific clips from Showa era Ultraman is, like, it has Ultraman riding one of those types of monsters horseback, but its eyes have been gouged out, and so it's just running around blindly with Ultraman riding on top of it like he's mocking the poor fuck. Like, Ultraman went fucking hard in the Showa era when it came to, like, the monster deaths. Again, I do love the whole skull shell gimmick of this creature. It's so fucking cool. Oh, down he goes. I love, like, the environmental elements of this game as well. Because, like, once again... Bonjour. Hello, Carl. Oh my god, it's like the fucking... the Sonic gazing up at the ring meme. Y'all probably have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. And it's honestly for the best. How you doing? Doing alright. Just, enjoying the new DLC characters for GigaBash. And just being about as obnoxious as you can possibly be by dropping all the fucking trivial knowledge I have on Tokusatsu. It's so good. Ah. This is one of those games that, like, successfully manages to make me feel like a kid again. I know it's the dumbest thing, but, like, it is absolutely a product of love. And, like, that love bleeds through every fucking detail that they put into this game. Like, shit like that, man. That's so cool. There we go. Alright. Yeah, no, I'm feeling... Again, surprise, surprise, when you actually know how to play the videos game, you have a better time playing the videos game. It look like we've got Giga Man Classic here. Classic colors. I appreciate that. And again, like, the environmental factors on each map, like, help bring out, like, new challenges and, like, new opportunities for fucking over, like, the other player or the other, like, the AI. Like, there, like, those little warning signs that, like, oh, that tank's about to fire. Oh, man, they knocked me out of my fucking taunt. It's so fun. Like, that's what it is. Like, they're embracing fun while also, like, having really cool creature designs and, like, just there's a lot of, like, homages being paid to, like, the legacies of each of these different characters. Even, like, the original characters came up with, like, for this. Like, they're paying loving tributes to their sources of inspiration. And, like, some might argue that, like, having the, like, the legacy characters, like the IP characters included in the roster kind of makes some of the original characters, like, null and void. I don't think that's true. If anything, it's, like, showing how, like, you can have a source of inspiration while also, like, building off of that concept. Like, Giga Man, like, yes, he's obviously taking inspiration from, like, Ultraman, but there's, like, he's very much his own character as well. He's a lot more, like... I would say, like, it's sort of, like, a bit more like if All Might were an Ultra Warrior. Because there's a bit like, ha-ha, yes, young man, it is I! And, like, you often don't get to have that much inspiration or that much sort of character inherent of, like, the design itself in an Ultra Warrior. Like, the Ultra Warrior himself will be sort of like a blank slate, like, specifically so, like, any kid could imagine themselves as that warrior. But, like, there are certain, like, Ultra Warriors or people like Giga Man who, like, they are clearly their own character. Because, like, at the end of the day, like, Ultraman is, like, a title. And, like, obviously, yes, like, there are certain Ultraman that are, like, characters, you know, like, you know, that's why they have their names in the fucking titles of their own shows, but, like, it almost feels like it's a rank or a title that anyone could take up if they had the opportunity to be that kind of hero. Hi! 7 is his own character, and Ultra. Yeah, no, Ultra 7 is a good example of that, and I kept coming back to him earlier, Alex, because I was talking about how his influence, specifically with the capsule monsters, is the whole reason we have Pokemon today. I mean, I'm also probably not doing the best job of explaining it very well, but I feel like there are certain, like, character designs or, like, creature designs where, like, you could imagine anyone in the suit and using that, like, power set if they had the opportunity. But then you have character designs where it's like, you can absolutely tell just by looking at the character, like, what their personality is like. And I feel like Giga Man is one of those characters where, like, okay, yeah, no, there's only one Giga Man. Whereas, like, there could be a lot of people who could be, like, the original Ultraman. Like, based off of the design alone. Oh, God. Oh, I got the fucking Vile Plume Flower. I mean, honestly, Zero, this is a good look for you. Oof. Yeah, I might need to focus more on the beams here. There we go. I mean, again, I also need the follow up with saying I am not an artist. I'm not a character designer. At least not normally, but, like, I would like to think I understand, like, a few basic concepts of character design where, like, you can absolutely tell if, like, someone is trying to specifically, instill a specific design with character traits in mind. And that's more common with, like, characters with definitive faces. I feel like it can be, well, not necessarily more difficult with, like, a creature design or, like, a design with a helmet or mask. But, like, you normally don't think of, like, those types of designs having an inherent personality, like, built into the design itself. I would argue anyway. But again, I am not a character designer. So, oh God, I forgot about this fucker! I'm actually kind of surprised that they brought this back. So I'm confused. Am I just fighting, like, concrete? Or am I also fighting this fucker? I feel like this fucker might be just like... Okay, so I was just fighting him. So it's more of like an environmental hazard. That scared me. I actually appreciate that they have that as an optional, like, final battle for one of the arcade modes. Oh, okay, my dumbass, it wasn't. And once again, going back to the Red King inspired boy. Red King / Gomorrah. Come on. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, I think I got off exceptionally lucky with this particular monster on this particular map. Gotta finish it with the beam. There we go. There we fucking go. Again, I say that as though it were some big accomplishment. This shit was on easy mode. Yeah, no, I love this. So good. Alright, so now, just for shits and giggles, I love how they have the fucking Final Wars color for Gigan here. I'll go Gigan Classic. Love it. Let's go normal mode. And this will probably be like the last run for the night. I'm probably not going to make it to the end because, again, I struggled with easy mode on both of those, but... And again, I love how much Gigan fits in with these other sort of, like, rounded Ultraman-inspired monsters. Such a... I love that move so much. It's so scummy and so spammable. But I don't care, because that's exactly in character for Gigan. He's such a piece of shit. Oh god. Well, once again, already struggling on the first fight. Yeah, I'm probably gonna... If I'm gonna go out, I want to go out with a bang. Yeah, there I go. Alright, let's try that again. Ah, boy. Come on, you... I might just need to fucking spam the dash. I am getting my fucking dick slammed by this fucking lad. Gotta do better, but you're one to fucking talk, Presea. Oh god, well... God damn it. Ah, boy. Alright, one more time. Again, the fact that I'm struggling this much on the first fight of normal mode should show you how good I am. But I still love the hell out of this game. I mean, it also sort of speaks to, like, how much this lad is based on Alien Bolton because of all the fucking, like, different abilities he has that sort of catch you off guard. There we go. Of fucking course. Yep, there I fucking go. Ah, well, GG's. I mean, here's the thing. If nothing else, this just means that I need to play this game more and experiment around with the whole roster, rather than just sticking to one or two favorites. Because again, I love this game, and I want more people to play this game. Because I love everything that has inspired everyone and everything in it. Now, that all being said, it has been 2 hours now. So honestly, this seems like a good place to end things for tonight. But yeah, I love GigaBash. I love Tokusatsu. I love monsters and giant heroes and special effects that people aren't afraid to make silly and cool at the same time. Like, the emphasis should always be fun. And again, I really, really do understand how weeby this is going to sound, but I feel like a big contributing factor to superhero fatigue when it comes to movies over here in the States is that people are focusing so fucking hard on trying to make everything feel grounded and serious because they're worried that people won't take superhero movies or other types of movies like that seriously unless they do, that they're losing the forest for the trees. And the whole reason for these types of stories existing to begin with, at least for me, is that it's something that brings out the kid in you. Something that makes you want to believe in a sense of justice and good and righteousness because of how fun these heroes are and how wacky and goofy yet simultaneously frightening these monsters are. And that's, for me anyway, what Tokusatsu is all about. Just finding that middle ground between goofy and inspiring. And I feel like this game perfectly captures that between the mechanics and the monster designs and everything they've managed to bring in from other properties. It's so fucking cool. And I hope I've at least done some good in explaining just why it is so cool. But anyway, thank you for coming to my fucking TED Talk. And, as always, find things to appreciate in the things that made your eyes light up as a child. Remember that you're never truly done with the things you grew up with as a kid until you decide you are. Because personally, in my opinion, the only difference between a child and an adult is a fucking mortgage. And in the process, always remember to fucking think.